What's up, everybody? It's the modern day prophet MDP here to do another video, and this video is going to be called Illia Tuporia is an effing idiot for giving up the featherweight title, and the UFC are idiots for letting him do it. And that's what this video is going to be about because this has got to be the most boneheaded thing I've ever seen in the whole time I've been watching MMA. I've been watching MMA for 20 plus years, and I have never seen somebody do something so stupid and detrimental to their career. Okay, Illia Tuporia is the featherweight champion. What logical scenario can you come up with as to why he should have gave up the title? I mean, this makes no sense at all. He gave up his leverage. He gave up his leverage. Why would you give up your leverage as a fighter? If he wanted to fight Islam Makhachev, he had a much better chance as the featherweight champion doing it than the way he's doing it now. He might not even get a shot at Islam now that he gave up the featherweight title. I mean, he could work his way to a title shot, which he may or may not get there. But the way he did it is just so dumb. Conor McGregor, the smartest, well, we could arguably say one of the most talented fighters that have ever fought. But on top of being super talented, he was also super smart when it came to the business of MMA. He understood how to get himself over and be a star. He is the biggest star the UFC has ever seen because he knew how to promote himself. Okay, when Conor McGregor was the featherweight champ, and this is what really just blows my mind here. When Conor McGregor was the featherweight champion, just like Ilya used to be, he got a shot at the lightweight title, it was held by Eddie Alvarez. So the featherweight champion fought the lightweight champion. Conor McGregor fought Eddie Alvarez, and he knocked Eddie Alvarez out and became a double champ. He became a double champ, the champ. Featherweight and lightweight. Now, I know he never defended it, and that's a whole nother story, but, Conor McGregor was on the map, but becoming champ solidified him on the map. Illia Tuporia had a chance to be champ, and he just threw it all away, which tells me he doesn't even understand how the business works. And you know how I talked about in my last video how the management is terrible for these fighters. The management evidently doesn't know what they're doing in many cases with these fighters. Why would his management let him do this? Why would his management explain to him how important it was to be featherweight champion? And why would the UFC, why would Dana White not tell him, like, whoa, dude, what is you doing? What is you doing? Hold up. Because think about this. The two biggest fights in the UFC, in my opinion, in MDP's opinion, the two biggest fights that you used to could make before this idiot gave up the featherweight title, the two biggest fights were featherweight champion Illia Topuria versus lightweight champ Islam Makhachev, and middleweight champion Dricus du Plessis versus light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. To me, those are the two biggest fights you could have made. Those champ fights are big business. They mean something. Those are epic fights. When you got a champion versus a champion, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal for not just the UFC, but for us, the fans. Those are the fights we really be wanting to see. We wanting to see the champ, man, and he just messed it up for everybody. Now, you know what? I'm going to tell you how epic these champ fights really are. Let's go back to the first ever champ. I don't know, this might be, some of y'all might not remember this, but there was a lightweight champion, BJ Penn, and there was an unstoppable welterweight champion named Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes was an effing beast. Nobody could stop this dude. And then somehow lightweight BJ Penn got a match against Matt Hughes, the welterweight champion, and schooled Matt Hughes, beat Matt Hughes' ass. BJ Penn was the first champ. I mean, you talking about an epic fight, something nobody saw coming. Nobody saw that coming. So that's why it makes it even worse, because I believe Illia Tuporia really had a real chance at beating Islam. I'm not gonna say he will. You never know what's gonna happen in a fight, but I believe he had a real legitimate chance to become a champ. I believe Dricus Du Plessis might also have that same chance. But the video is not about Dricus. It's about Illia Tuporia and why he gave up the featherweight title. Nobody has ever done that. Now people can talk about John Jones giving up the title, but John Jones retired. You know what I'm saying? He left the sport for like 3 years. I think Henry Cejudo did the same thing, but he left the sport. I could make a video about him right now, to be honest, but let me stay focused. But he also left the sport for some years. No, I have never seen somebody give up a title to move up a weight class. I've never seen that happen before. Illia Topuria is the first person to have done that I'm aware of. Maybe I'm forgetting something. If I'm forgetting, man, somebody please drop it in the comments and remind me if I'm wrong. I'm talking UFC, not no other organization. Just the UFC. Illia Topuria is the only person I know to have done this. And man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I just don't even know what to say. It's just so dumb to me. Why would, like I said, he just ruined a huge match. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. The matchmaking has gotten pretty bad too. Like, in fact, you know what? I was gonna talk about Bilal Muhammad and Joaquin Buckley in this, and why he's not getting the title. I'm gonna make a separate video. I'm gonna just stay focused on Islam Illia Tuporia for this video, and I'll make a separate video later on tonight where I'm gonna talk about the welterweight title situation and how Jack Della Maddalena is getting a title shot over Joaquin Buckley, and yeah, I'm gonna make another video talking about that. So back to Illia Tuporia. Daniel Cormier was a champ. Conor McGregor, BJ Penn. I'm trying to think who else was a champ. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Else, but Amanda Nunes was a champ, of course. Even though the women's, which by the way, the women's division has been getting disrespected a lot. Do you know that for the last two events there hasn't even been a women's fight? No women's fight at all for the last two events. Now, y'all remember when they went to Saudi Arabia and the Sheikh Turkish, whoever that dude is, the big dude over there who's paying all the fighters, making all the big fights happen. He said he wanted to see more women fights, to bring more women. And I agree with him. I want to see more women fights, but I'll make another video for that, in the future as well. I got so many UFC videos I could make. Man, it's crazy, man. I don't know what is going on with these fighters. These fighters are dumb, dude. These fighters are idiots. I mean, just like even what happened, Henry Cejudo running around screaming, "I can't see," knowing people are gonna hear him and stop the fight. He should have just went to his corner and said that. Anyway, back to Illia Tuporia and giving up the featherweight title. It just there's no precedent for it, and it's dumb. Dumbest thing I've ever seen a fighter do. And it ain't even like Illia Tuporia is a big featherweight. He's he's just a regular sized featherweight. He's not huge like Max Holloway. So if he's having trouble making weight, something's wrong. So it just don't make no sense, no matter how you look at it. And I know he came out and gave his explanation, and Dana White came out and gave his explanation. Man, it's stupid. I don't care what they say. And his management should be held accountable because let me put it this way. If I was Illia Tuporia's manager and he said, "I'm giving up the title," and he wouldn't listen to me, he was determined he was going to do this. I said lightweight. I meant to say featherweight. If he was determined to give up his featherweight title, I wouldn't manage. I'd be done with him. Like, all right, man, you got to go. You on your own. If that's what you're going to do, you on your own. If you want to work your way up lightweight, be my guest, but I won't be there with you. You know what I'm saying? If it was up to me. Now, if I was matchmaker, this is what I would do. Let MDP put on the matchmaker hat for a minute. Let me explain to you how I would do this. I would have Illia Tuporia, give him his featherweight title back. Give him the featherweight title back and tell him he got to defend it. I would have him defend the title against Diego Lopez. Because this is the truth. Even if Volk and Diego Lopez fight for the title, unless they beat Illia, they're going to be seen as lesser. So I would have Illia defend against Diego and not Volk. Volk just got knocked out in his last two fights. I think his ego is getting in his way. He needs to take an easier fight to get his legs back under him. He don't need to jump right back in there with Illia, the guy that just knocked out Max Holloway. You know what I'm saying? So I would have Illia fight Diego Lopez, and I would have Islam Makhachev fight Max Holloway. And if they both defend their titles successfully, then I would have the champ fight. I would have the champ fight at that point. If I was the matchmaker, that's how I would do it. But I don't know what's going on with the matchmakers in the UFC, right? Man, think about all of these fights that fall out. Every event, at least one fight doesn't make it. Every event this happens. That's the problem with the matchmaking. That is not a coincidence. This never used to happen before. Now every event, you can pretty much rest assured somebody's not going to make it to the event. That's because they aren't matching up the right fighters. And fighters are pulling out the fights. They don't want to fight. But like, I can't remember. Somebody just said this. I think it was Pitbull. Patricio Pitbull. He said a lot of fighters, they don't want to say no to the UFC, so they take the fights, knowing that they're not ever going to fight. And then they get injured. That's what he said. And I totally agree. That's what be happening, because this is getting ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That every event we look forward to, we know one of the good fights, somebody's going to pull out. Every single event this is happening. But yeah, I think I just don't even have nothing else to say. I'm so disgusted and disappointed in Illia. Like I said, what a bonehead move on his part. What like I said, his management must be all boneheads to let him do it. And the UFC are boneheads for letting him do it. Like I said, if I was Dana White, nah. That trust me when I tell you, you do not want to vacate that belt. It has literally messed up everything. Literally messed up, and it makes no sense. All right, y'all, excuse me. I'm going to stop it there. I just don't even know what else to say. Like I said, the stupidity of these fighters shouldn't even amaze me at this point. But, sooner or later somebody is really going to step up and really go above the stupidity line like Illia Tuporia just did. And I just don't know what to say, man. Am I tripping, y'all? Am I tripping? Please, y'all, tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all, please put in the comments, if y'all think this was a good move on Illia's part. I would really love to know, man. Am I just, maybe I'm getting old and I'm not saying things clearly here. I really want to know if I'm wrong on this. I love it when y'all talk to me anyway. But if I'm wrong on this, man, please, drop me some comments. Hey, y'all, please like the video. Man, I love making these UFC videos. I actually got a couple UFC videos I'm about to drop. Like I said, I'm about to make one about that whole welterweight situation probably right after this one. And, so be looking out for 2 UFC videos. If you're a UFC fan and you like hearing me give my take, on the UFC. But anyway, y'all, thank you for watching the video. I love you all. Peace.